Good morning. Hey y'all. I was fixing to make a recipe for today, and it called for stewed tomatoes, and I realized I didn't have any. So I'm going to show you how I make my stewed tomatoes real quick. So you can do this with fresh tomatoes if it's in season, and I've canned them many times, but I have diced tomatoes today, and it calls for 2 cans, so I'm just going to do a small batch. Now it's going to take a little bit of sugar, like a tablespoon of sugar. I do it to taste. It's going to take some onions, and I'm not going to take the time to cut up an onion, so I have the dried onions, and it's going in the tomato liquid, so that will hydrate those. I'm gonna add some garlic, some minced garlic. You can do garlic powder. I'm gonna add a little bit of onion powder. And I didn't have a bell pepper. If I had one, I would, and that's something I've got to work on. I gotta get some frozen for times like this. But if I don't have that, I'm just gonna put some parsley flakes in there. And if I want an Italian flavor, I'm going to do Italian seasoning. Let's get cooking. Now there's something about using an iron skillet to me when you do anything like this because it's seasoned. I'm gonna add some olive oil in here, maybe a tablespoon. I'm gonna get my pan hot. And you can tell when your pan is warmed up enough to start adding your ingredients. So I'm gonna add these diced tomatoes. And I did not drain them because I need the liquid, but it will cook down. This is 2 cans of diced tomatoes. Now I'm just gonna sprinkle some parsley flakes in here. And like I say, I'm doing this to taste. And the parsley flakes are really for the look and not the taste. But a lot of people like them, and they're in a lot of Italian dishes. So now I'm going to add some minced garlic, and this is also dehydrated. You can use fresh. Do what you like. Do you. And I would say maybe a teaspoon of that, if I was guessing. Now I'm going to add the dehydrated onions, and I would probably say a teaspoon of that maybe. And we'll taste of it and see how it tastes once it simmers a little bit. Now I'm also going to add some onion powder. That's always good in anything. And that's maybe a half of a teaspoon because I do have the onions in there. So this is optional. I have the Italian seasoning, and I do want that. I just think it tastes good, and it has a variety of spices in it, and it's already mixed up. And I'm gonna probably add half of a teaspoon of that, maybe. And that's just to start out with. Where's my sugar? There's my sugar. I'm gonna add about a tablespoon of this to start. And you do not have to add this, that's optional. This is just my little recipe. And then I'm gonna add some salt and pepper because those are just plain diced tomatoes. Those are canned, fresh. Well, they were fresh when they were canned. And they're from the store, but like I say, you can use fresh tomatoes too. And I'm just going to stir this up. And I'm just going to simmer this for, well, you'll know when it cooks down a little bit. You don't want to lose a whole lot of that liquid in the recipe that I'm fixing to use. And by the way, I am fixing to make a Brunswick stew, so that will be the next video after this. because that's what I'm getting these ready for. Now you can buy stewed tomatoes already done, and that's what, if you're wanting a quick Brunswick stew, that's what I advise you to do. Of course, if you don't have them, do what I do. So I'm just gonna cook this for a few minutes. And you don't have to stir it the whole time. I'm just trying to get these ingredients all mixed in. And I'm just gonna let that simmer for a few minutes. These are just about done, and they might have simmered a slow boil for 5 to 7 minutes maybe. And then you need to taste it and see what you think. I've already done that, and I think this is perfect. So I'm gonna put mine in a bowl because I'm fixing to use it in another recipe. So you can also add a little hot sauce to this if you want to, but the recipe I'm fixing this for is, calls for hot sauce, so I'm not gonna add it to this. It's just whatever recipe you are using. This is also good to add okra to, and have stewed tomatoes with okra mixed up. You can actually buy it in a can like that, but there's nothing like fresh tomatoes out of your garden and okra. Y'all can see how pretty that is. So we made stewed tomatoes. Isn't that pretty? And that's just from a can. I can imagine what they would be like fresh. They would taste so good. So I'm fixing to make some Brunswick stew, so be sure and watch for that video. It'll be coming next. And like and subscribe, thumbs up. I'd love a comment. Hit the little notification bell. And all the links should be in the description to my blogs and my Facebook and my Instagram. I'm just everywhere. So stewed tomatoes today. Easy, easy, easy. Y'all go cook something.